Hey everyone, how are you this wonderful Saturday morning? We are going to continue in our alphabet of God's promises in Psalms. Today we're doing two letters on one page. We're going to do the letter O and the letter P. I have it written down. I will get to that very shortly. I also pulled out this collection of die kits from Simple Stories called Beautiful. So I pulled out a few pieces. I also have some of this thread that I purchased from an Etsy shop, Jerry Bellini's Etsy shop, if you know Jerry, recycled parts for art. And yeah, I got a whole little bag of thread, so I want to pull in some of the thread. I just received this Jane Davenport palette pastels, and I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, it's like, I don't even know. How do you open it? Wow. Okay. Isn't that interesting? Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'll be using that for the first time today. I have some makeup brushes. I just actually opened these. A friend of mine had given me some of makeup brushes that she wasn't using. So these are the die cuts from that die cut set. I have a couple pieces of page, right, from a book here. I actually have 3. I only needed 2. And of course, my black Signo Uniball pen, which you all know I adore. All right, so I think this page is going to be a little bit different again. I don't know. I just look at the products that I have, and I'm like, oh, well, what do I want to use today? And then I figure something out. So this was the last page that we worked on, and I do have a paper clip, a long paper clip here, which I have to take off in order to get down the page, the paper here. So what I want to do, is I actually want to, I'm going to try not to use the word actually. I think I've tried not to do that many times before. And yeah, no, I really have to think about it. I have to concentrate on the words that I use, not to use that word. I'm going to try. All right, I'm going to put down the book page. I want to cover this whole page here with book paper. All right, so I'm obviously going to cut off the excess once I get this on here. So isn't that interesting? So as I'm doing this, excuse me, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, gosh, I could create a pocket if I wanted to, right? But I don't think I want to. I think I'll go, I don't know what to do. I don't want to go too high up because I don't need to, but I do need to get some adhesive here for that to stick to. All right, well, we're going to see. We're going to see. And now I have adhesive right here. See, I already put some adhesive there. You can see the shine. So what I cut off, I'm going to put a little piece there. So this is not like super neat, as you can see. And I don't know. I just wanted to cover the page. Not anything, new or whatever, but because I have I have so many book pages, all kinds. I have from atlases to dictionaries to phone books to hymnals and different kinds of music, type books. You name it, I think I have it. So I wanted to pull a little bit out and use it on a page. So if you have pages of books that you would like to use up, I think that this is a great opportunity. So I think what I'm going to do here is, okay. Okay. Something like this. I want it to look off kilter, so to speak. Whoops. So let me go ahead and pull in a little adhesive here. I can add more once I get it on here. Okay. So I'm not going to do the pocket thing, although you could. You definitely could. So this is what I have. It's kind of like, I want to say, mishmash. I could take even more pieces and just kind of add to it. You know what? I'm going to do that. And the reason I'm going to do it is because I don't want all these little pieces of paper left over. That's my reasoning for this. Now, I do know that I'm going to be placing, maybe I can put that there even a bit off kilter. So let me just get down a few more pieces of, I'll put this here, of this, what I call, at this point, scrap paper, right? Because now it's just pieces of stuff. All right. Oh, I think I'm going to like this. See, I did not have this as part of my plan, but I'm liking this whole effect here of having the different pages and not have them look uniform. Okay, so let's see. I think I want to add one more down here, but you can see, I hope I wasn't out of screen too much. And I think what I'll do is add a piece there. And I want it to be noticeable and visible. So if I do something like that, just to give it a little bit of, you know, offset just a little bit. What I could have done is gone in and distressed the edges of each piece of paper. But of course, I'm thinking of that now. But I am going to come in with these colors, and I'm going to put some color onto the top of the paper. All right, let's get to the verses for today. Now, I have to tell you a story about the letter O. So, you know, I'm working through a study that I found online, right? And it just basically gives you, you know, each letter of the alphabet and 1, 2, or sometimes 3 suggestions of verses to use. So for letter O, when I went to find it, it did not read like it read in the study, right? So I'm like, well, I can't use that if there's no word that begins with O. And I looked in a couple translations. I didn't go overboard looking, but I figure, you know what? I was looking at Psalm 116, verse 6, which is my letter P. And so then I read the verse before it, you know, so I do that. Like I'll read the psalm and I'm like, oh, the verse before that has a letter O and it's ours, right? And I just thought that that's like such a powerful word, especially in this verse. So let me go ahead and read Psalm 116 verses 5 and 6. So verse 5 reads, "How kind the Lord is, how good he is, so merciful, this God of ours," right? He's ours. He's our God. Your God and my God. He's our God. Woo! Amazing, right? And then verse 6, "The Lord protects those of childlike faith." Oh, I could go on and on about that verse, and I think you've probably all have heard this from time to time, but right, as a little child, they're just so pure and honest, and they believe in what they believe in. They don't have to be told to believe in it, right? They don't overanalyze things. Like as we grow older, or at least with me, I tend to analyze things. And you know what? That's not what faith is. Faith is faith. Faith is believing, right? Not seeing, but believing. And I just love it. So the Lord protects those of childlike faith. So to me, this reminds me to keep that kind of faith, right? To keep it like when I was first saved, right? So I just thought that these two verses were perfect and such promises to us, right? So this verse 5 tells us how kind he is and good he is and merciful he is and that he's ours. Amen to that, and that he protects us. So I thought that these were perfect verses, even though they are not, or the one is, verse 116, verse 6 was part of the study that I'm following along in. But, oh no, I just lost something. Uh-oh. Something I think just flew off my table. You know what? I have to make sure I can get this on here. Yeah, so very cool, I think. Very, very, very cool. See, now I'm changing things, right? Maybe I want to, see, I don't want to cover all of that up. So maybe something like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this down very gently. Like I didn't even press it down all the way because I know I want to get this die cut a little bit underneath it. So let's see. So we want to do something like, maybe something like that. I think looks super pretty, right? That looks pretty. I can go for that. And then I have this little flower. So I tried, I'm trying to keep it not monochromatic, but darn close to monochromatic with the blacks and, just the different, not white, although this does have a white background, but the pages are, of course, a little discolored, which I love. All right, so we're going to put this down here. I did not want the yellow on here, so also from that same die cut kit, I found this, and it says, find the beauty in every day, which I thought was perfect for these two verses. And I'm going to cover up that yellow. See, now to me, that looks better. You know what? I have a little piece of glue down here. Let me get another little piece of paper and put it over it. Like that. Okay, so I like that. I like that. I like that. Of course, this card is crooked. I'm telling you. I don't know. I don't know. And I also have every moment matters. I don't know. I don't think I want to get that on there. I like it really the way it is. And it's really kind of bothering me that this looks crooked. It really, really, really is crooked. Let me see if I can do this without messing anything up too terribly. Can I move it over? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can do. See, I have to be careful. I don't want to rely on the book font to make it look straight because the book font is not straight, right? Because I put the pages a little willy-nilly, but that does look good. And I have a little heart and a little star from that die cut set. I thought I might pull in. But before I do that, I still might use those, I want to put some background color on here. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, I definitely want to try to get this on here. Okay, so this is the thread. I have like a gray and like a beige, a light beige. I'll lift it up and show you in a second. And all I'm going to do is cut maybe a foot long, each one like a foot long. But you can see, you know, it's gray and then like a beige color. And all I wanted to do, right, I'm going to messily put it on here. But I wanted to put it behind here. I'm doing everything backwards. Everything backwards. But that's all right. It does not have to be perfect. All right, so I'm liking that. I do want to get the end of the thread. I think I called it string again. You guys know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right, I want to get, you know, a good amount of adhesive behind this die cut to hold down the thread. And all it does, I mean, I'll hold it up so you can see it, but it just adds a fun little bit of additional texture. Like, look how cute that is, right? It just adds a little something. Oops, I may have to staple that. Oh, I'm gonna have to, it's popping up. All right, so let's see. There we go. Thank goodness for the Tim Holtz tiny attacher. I use it, I think, almost on every single page. But look at how cute. It's just cute, right? It's just cute. So now I have a challenge of putting a little bit of color onto this page. I think what I'm going to do, now again, I've never used this stuff. I have no idea how it reacts. I think I'm going to start with this lighter color here, and I'm just going to see what it does. Okay, so like not much. I'm going to go to the little bit darker color. Okay, so now I'm starting to see. Let me hold it up. So it's ever so faint. So maybe I want to go even darker. So I will. I'll go to the darker brown. You know what? And I'm using a brush that is not meant for artsy stuff. But the reason I'm using it is because, well, first of all, I have it and I've had it for a while. But I thought it would be fun, and you want to know something? It is fun. I'm totally enjoying this. So I'm trying to lift it up so you can see that I can really control, if I want to, exactly where the color is going to go. So I'll bring it down the page over here. And it is doing a distress on the edges of the book page. You know what? I really, 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 really like this. Oh my goodness. I really like this. It's automatically giving a distressed look to those torn edges. Now, I mean, you could use a makeup sponge for this. You could use, you know, any of your like ink, what are they called? That you put the, what are they called? The round things that you would take and you would put in ink and then put on here. You could do that. All right, so what I want to do now is pull in a little bit of color, this brown color, ever so little. I want to pull it in just a little bit more onto the inside of the page. Ever so light. See how pretty that looks? See how pretty that looks? Basically what I'm doing at this point is really toning down that white of the die cuts. Oh, I can see I'm gonna love this. I got this because I saw someone else use it doing faces. This stuff here, the Jane Davenport, and so I got it for that purpose. And then I'm like, well, I really just want to use it, so I'm going to use it on this page, and I'm loving it. All right, what I think I'm going to do now, so like now I know I'm not going to pull in these two pieces because they just will not make a difference on here, and I love the antique look of this page. I'm just going to wipe off that just to clean it a little bit, and then I'm going to pull in one of these two, maybe the smaller one of the two, and I want to, let's see, maybe this like orangey color, and just pull a little bit into the flowers themselves without adding another color to the page, because this right here, this die cut, has a bit of an orange, a very light peach actually tone to it. So by me adding this particular shade of this powder, does not, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, does not introduce another color onto this page. Now, trust me, I will, you know, I love color, you guys know that. But for this particular page, I'm thinking more monochromatic, and it's absolutely beautiful. What I want to do, I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to go back to that brown, that dark brown, and I just want to tone down the white on this flower, okay? Because now I don't want a lot of stark white at all, so I'm just being more diligent about getting all of that white really toned down. And if I can add a little bit of a distressed look to the edges, then yay. Look at how beautiful that looks. I'm just going to hold that there. I mean, the die cut was already gorgeous, but just by adding a little bit of brown around the edges and that little bit of that peachy color there, that matches that. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm going to pull in just a little bit more of the brown here. So obviously with this smaller brush, I'm able to control better, but I don't want it to look too perfect either. And you hear me keep blowing. I'm blowing the powder off. Oh, is that it? Oh, I think that that's probably exactly what I want. And I'm going to leave the page as is. So it's a very, what I would call simple page, right? Certainly without a lot of color, but there is a lot of texture and layer to the page. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's perfect. I'm going to leave it as is. And remember, our God is kind. He is good. He is merciful. And He's ours. And He protects those with childlike faith. Thank you all for being here. You bless me abundantly. I know I say that almost every week, but you really do. You have no idea. You all inspire me to keep going with this series, and I love it. I enjoy it a great deal, and I hope that you do too. All right, have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. Alrighty, bye-bye.